beautiful fields, the smell of freshly turned dirt, watching the sunset over the trees. It's nostalgic, romantic even, part of the landscape of America. But what does farming really look like? What does it really mean for our food supply, our environment, for our future? Join us as we listen to the story from the farmers inside the tractor, the land stewards themselves. You may be surprised as they tell their story of cultivation and conservation, the real conversation.
So, I know sustainability to me, I mean, that's a word that you hear in a lot of different industries, and I think what comes to mind when I guess the vast majority of people talk about sustainability is probably the environment. And although that is important, sustainability to me is also, from a business standpoint, farming is profitability and being able to stay in business and being able to pass land down or a business down to another generation. And that may want to farm as well. But I'd say that's what it means to me. I mean, like I said, the environment and taking care of our land and all that, and making sure that it stays productive and not washed away and all that. That is very important. And I think those two kind of go very hand in hand. If you do that with the land, I've always kind of heard that if you take care of the land will take care of you, kind of thing. So I think they really go hand in hand. But I don't think many people talk about the sustainability of being able to stay profitable and stay in business and be able to continue doing business.
Well, in certain things, it is sustainability. It's kind of been one of those words that people seem to want to define it whatever they feel like. But I mean, it's got a definition, and it's not fair to only apply it to just like the environment or something like that. And it's kind of a foregone conclusion. If we don't take care of our farmland and we destroy the environment in which we operate, we destroy ourselves and we are not sustainable. So it's kind of it's a little frustrating as a farmer when you hear people ask whether or not you're sustainable, and you're like, well, I'm still here.
It's kind of like
somebody asking you if you're breathing.
Yeah.
But it is critical to remain, for your business to remain sustainable. And it's like JD said, you got to be able to pay your bills, and you got to be able to take care of your family. You got to be able to pay your employees enough to take care of their families, which is important. I mean, it's just like our operation is like a lot of people's, where everybody that works for us is like our family, and some of our employees take home more money than we do because we make sacrifices for our own business. They just work here. It's not fair to ask them to make the same sacrifices we do. So sometimes you just got to pay them more money and allow them, because they're working long hours and putting a bunch of their own self into your crop. So that's one of the things that I think is important about sustainability, is taking care of your people. It takes a long time for someone to learn how to work at your operation, and once they've done that, you got to do what you can for them to stay there, for them to want to stay there, for them to be able to. That's an important factor and part of sustainability to me.
I think too, whenever you talk about conservation, as farmers, we're stewards of the land, of the water, of the crops that we're producing, and the nutrients that we put out there to help them grow. And so whenever you think about, the conservation, farmers were the first conservationists there were. And so you really have to be mindful of all the different things that go into it, or else you won't be in business. You won't be sustainable on that economic side like y'all are talking about too. But of course, you have to be smart with irrigation, because you can overwater and you don't want to underwater if you've got irrigation. And the majority of the farmers around here aren't, leveraged with a lot of irrigation, but thankfully we do get sufficient rainfall, in most years. And but you do need to manage those resources, because they are finite resources. And so you want to keep clean water because we live here, you know.
We drink the same water.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
have to protect it.
And we're growing a product that we would eat ourselves, that we do eat ourselves, you know. We're raising peanuts and can't eat cotton, but you want to grow it sustainably too.
The cows eat the seed.
Yeah, the cows eat cottonseed, yeah.
Well, I mean, and I'd want to wear it.
Right, yeah.
I like
Well,
it,
you want to
prefer
feel
it.
good wearing it too, you know.
Yes.
These farmers really do care about what they do, and it's so encouraging to see that they want to do what's most sustainable for the environment, their people, and their business. For all you do, we thank you. Join us next time for another segment on cultivation and conservation, the real conversation.